Good evening and welcome. It's the first edition of the Bad Company Podcast. I'm Jay Bird. I'm here with my main man, lightning strike himself, Mr. Jake Loiacano.
What's up, y'all?
For those of you that don't know Jake Loiacano, you're living under a rock. I'm going to tell you, he is the man that changed the game of hog band. World champions are now crowned because of this man. People come from the likes of the state of Maryland, Northern California, all over the great country to come to my man's show. I'm proud to be a small part of them. One of my dearest friends, Jake. How are we tonight, my man?
Man,
We're
I'm
30
doing
days
great.
away from Showtime or less, huh?
Yeah, I'm doing great, and to say I'm doing great is actually an understatement. It's a great time of the year to be me. We have three big shows in the first 5 months of the year. Plus, we've had some big rodeos. We went right off the LRCA finals, straight into my show. We went to Crowley. We've been to Orange. Now we're fixing to go to Winfield. Come back to Orange. We got Hemp Hill. We got the Red Bud Festival in Buna. This part of the country, we got all kind of events really going on, and we got some big things coming up as far as how we are starting to reach people. People aren't coming from Maryland just to win these big cash prizes. Because
And when we say people, let's go ahead and get a name out there. My man Johnny White. I'm talking about my man Johnny White, two dog champion Johnny White. You know my man Johnny White.
yeah, Johnny White is quite the character. He's done it all in his time, and now his it's like the love he never could find now is competition hog dogs.
Yeah,
And
and the love he was able to find before, like Johnny's probably the most well liked, or I'm gonna say the celebrity out of all the guys. Even I mean, everybody likes Johnny White.
yeah, man, he's got
Maybe
a
not the jeans level, but you know.
yeah, he's got a like a unique swagger about him. It's kind of the I don't like it when you call him this, but it's kind of like because he's a Yankee and he's like the only one.
Southern Yankee for certain.
Yeah,
I'm
man, and
proud.
like even folks from the Pacific Northwest, man, like we don't even really think of them as Yankees anymore because they're so country. But like Johnny, I don't know, he's a country Yankee, and folks don't get to see a whole lot of that around here. And plus, he's since day one he's been a hard hitter as far as making moves and things like that, making things happen, and now it's really starting to pay off for
He
him.
really has it going on, man. Super proud to see it, huh?
Yeah, no doubt, Big Daddy, no
And
doubt.
I feel
And
like we can't talk about Johnny White without talking about his maybe fiance. They may have even taken it to the next level. I'm talking about the man that calls Matador his own. I'm a man,
oh,
Gene Reynolds and the Matador.
oh, Gene Reynolds of Rockin' R Kennels, man. It's really. I was actually jealous at first when I seen their Facebook relationship. How they basically have eggs and coffee and a good morning kiss on Facebook every morning. And
Absolutely.
I was jealous at first, but then I realized that hey, it's like a healthy crush. You know what I mean? It's not like stalking. It's not like stage 5 clingers. It's
No.
just a good healthy crush.
Hey, and it's not like most people on Facebook that's all talking about how much they love each other. Like you see it genuinely in real life how much they love each other.
Yeah, man. It's not like you see these anniversary posts where like they've done broken up and you see them in relationship with other people, but they like, oh, happy anniversary, babe. Like, man, I thought you were with so and so, but there's no doubt these two are together.
Yeah,
They're a thing.
yeah. Like they broke up 13 times in high school, but even when they're 35, people look at them like, hang on, they're not married? I thought
Yeah,
they was, oh yeah, they are married. That is them,
yeah, yeah. They were just seeing other people for a little while.
Just sick of other people. Sounds like one of our buddies don't have a whole lot of hair, likes to mix his game.
But man, I'm real excited about this new venture. I've dabbled in something before like this, and I believe we really have a format now that is gonna put us over the top and have us a lot of listeners. Something we can do and keep putting new material out. And like the baseline for our material, do I have this written down right? Is it like Bronx, Boers, Babes, and Bulls? That's correct.
It could be bulls and babes and broncs and bulls, bulls and babes and broncs and bulls. I don't
And
care.
maybe even a
Damn,
little
we gonna
ball.
talk
Who
about it.
knows?
Yeah, and
Especially
we
during
can
the
talk
fall,
about
we're
other
going to
cool
have to talk a
stuff.
little
Like I
ball.
mean, buffalo, and I mean we got it all. Bikinis, I mean, we're gonna talk about it all, man. This is if you like the, I guess, outdoor way of life, rodeo, hog hunting, hog baying. I mean, taking a dip of Copenhagen, whatever it is you like to makes you feel real country. Guess what? We live it. I can't help it, man. I was born a country boy in the middle of nowhere, and I moved to a place in Mississippi that the closest anything is 1 hour away from me in any direction. I love it.
A geographical oddity. You know,
Yeah,
I was born retarded, and I've been spending my whole life trying to get out of it. But man, you know what? I'm having fun. It's all that matters.
man. See, I wasn't. I don't think I was retarded. My bus had like 3 seats on each side, so I think we went. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, it was a small school.
yeah, man. So one of the things I want to do on all of them is kind of talk about where we've been and where we're going. Uh, Fortunately, man, where we've been, that's pretty easy to answer. Me and you seen each other. So it's a Tuesday while we're recording, right? So we've
Yep.
seen each other this past week in Orange, Texas.
Yep.
T2 Center, Mr. Chad Havens, SYJ Rodeo. You, the family, came hang out, man. You bought me some Tia Juanitas. I love when that happens like that.
Yeah. I guess definitely we've seen each other. We've had an event at least once a month for the last several months, but most recently we were right here in the home of the hogband.com headquarters. Beautiful Orange, Texas. A lot of folks like to call it the right side of Texas, where
The most eastern city of all of the Lone Star.
that is correct. And they have a beautiful arena here called the T2 Event Center, owned by Mr. Chad Havens. And man, let me tell you, that was the most spectators that I believe I've seen at a rodeo in Orange, maybe in all of East Texas in quite a few years. Man, there was, there was a vast lineup. I want to say just in the performance and the slack after immediately following the performance, there was like 48 bull riders Friday and Saturday night combined.
Yeah, man. I mean, kudos to Shane Young and the SYJ gang. I don't. I mean, it's we're living in a time now where if you get 10 bull riders a night at your rodeo, you're stoked. And that dude showed up and got 48 bull riders, and he always gets a bunch. Kudos to him for having a good pen of bulls, good bullfighters. Man, the whole rodeo was. Um, I'll say, man, the SYJ Rodeo Company, I feel like it's on fire right now.
Yeah.
They're on a streak the last few years, and another thing that I do a good bit of these rodeos, and I'm proud to play that small part of getting to hold that microphone.
Yeah, it was a great atmosphere, and as far as the bad company podcast, there was definitely some bad company in the house, and it's starting to become like a family, and we all know who we're rooting for and all that good stuff, and it really makes for a good
So
atmosphere.
Jake's people, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all, Daryl Elliott, bam.
Daryl Elliott, I
Ethan
played
Winkler,
basketball in high
bam.
school with Darrell. I had no idea that he was going to be the LRCA champion. I mean, he might have known, but he didn't let it be known. He was more of a rebounder and a defense player when I knew him. But now
Yeah,
he knows
man.
how to jerk a knot and a steer.
Yeah, he's bad to the bone, man, and a classy dude. Every time you see him, he's always, happy to be there.
Yep. And I know after Friday, I think he was leading. I don't know how it fell out. I believe there was some really good times Saturday, though. I don't know if
Another
he.
one of your really good buddies back out of retirement for the 37th time. One of our good buddies, Joel Piku, was there. I know he placed in there good. I thought the judges kind of shorted him on points. I hope the judges aren't watching this, but if y'all are, come on, guys. What were y'all looking at?
Yeah, Joel kicked the hair off his horse, and the way Joel's horse came out, it was coming right to me. And it looked like he was really kicking and getting it. And then he made like a U-turn and went almost like a V directly away. And when I heard 71, man, I was like, golly, do they just not like old people or what?
And I think the scoring did get a little mixed up. I think he might have actually been 73, but still, I mean, it was a way better ride than that,
Well,
man. Sometimes I like to pull my friends and got my blinders on, but I think that was a deal where. But then again, Isaac Richard, the guy that won it, was only a couple points more than him. So really, Isaac could have been more points as long as they got it right, which they did. Judges did. Isaac just threw them, and they both rode good.
I seen a side view, and when the horse turned and was kicking and was going away, he did slow down at the end, like probably the last 2 seconds.
May have blown about that time too.
Yeah,
You're right.
And
That's
I believe that.
people putting that Winnie Texas iron in him. That's why.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And speaking of like that part of the country and the bull riding, like Friday night, Laramie Craig blew the roof off, and
Yeah.
if he didn't blow it off with the fans, he was about to kick it off from spur, and he was putting on a show. Like he knew he had one he could handle, and he put on a show.
Man, just to tell a real quick glimpse of this story, when Laramie was a freshman in high school, he got on a bull at one of the Region 5 rodeos that was way too much for him that come from us or Shane. I can't remember even the bull, what it was, but the bull throws him up in the air and he ends up landing back on him backwards and rides him about 3 jumps backwards. Not trying to, of course, just couldn't go nowhere else. And the kid got off, and most people would have been super freaked out. He had the biggest smile on his face. I thought, this kid's going to be great. This kid's going to be great.
He does have a bright future, and he's been about it. You know, he's if anybody was ever born to ride bulls, it was Laramie Craig.
Yep, second generation bull rider. That's right. Yep, that's in your part of the country.
Yeah, me and his brother were real tight when we were in school, and all Laramie wanted to do was get on a calf. And now I can tell that time that he's devoted to that is really starting to pay off.
Yeah, man, Casey Craig we're talking about, man, he was one of the elites there, you know, when he was going in the bullfighting world. He always had on that signature striped shirt, man. He could do the deal. He was one of my favorite to watch do it.
He the first year I did Uncle Earls, he worked the pen for me.
No kidding.
Yep, it would have been.
Never knew that he worked a day in his life. That's pretty good.
Well, all right. He was he was
can I call out Lil Piku on the podcast right now?
Little Garrett.
The pen, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Garrett Piku, Jake Loiacano calls me every bay and like with the biggest, like I just can see the smile over the phone kind of deal. And he's like, man, I got my man covered. And I'm talking. He even says like he sees some of him in you. And I know how much he likes himself, so
I could see I could see 2 of him in me. Like he's half my size. But yeah. Garrett's promises me he's coming, which he's promised me before. I had him, you know, I had that big ear to ear smile. Said, man, Garrett said he's off work and he's going to get to make it. But
man, one time though, I will say it was pretty cool because he did take Carter and Ryan hunting. I think talking about the boys from the Boars and Brawls, he took them hunting down there in South Texas. I think when they left Earls last year. So
yeah, he did, and they had a lot of success. They actually went in the middle of Earls. And Carter and them came for a couple days. Then they went hunting with Garrett, and they came back and hung out with us all weekend. And didn't bring Garrett, of course.
2 guys there, Jake. Just touch on that real quick, too, man. Them 2 guys. Man, they're doing a lot of great stuff for the sport of hog baiting, right?
Man.
I mean, the whole world of hog hunting, I should say.
There's always guys that seems like that bridge a gap that you didn't know you had. And, you know, like our first crack at a podcast with Hog Dog Nation, me and Uncle Pat, we felt like, and Ed, we felt like that was really bridging a gap, not only to people that didn't compete on the competition side, but people that just hunted and didn't even know it existed. Well, now Boars and Broads is taking it to a whole nother level. Like they're fresh, man. They're young. They keep putting. It's not monotonous material, and plus they're hands on. They actually come to the event.
Man, their dogs are so bad, man. I'm gonna get in the woods with them dogs one day. I mean, they might not be just 10s in the bay pen because they're like me, man. They're man eaters. They flex their muscles. Yeah. I love that what he brought to Earls last year.
And they, man, they're constantly honing their craft. You know what I mean? That they're not just sitting on the fence talking about it. They're being about it, and then they come to the events, and not only are they promoting the shows, but they're participating in the shows. And
they understand the bay pen life. They were woods hunters, and they came in and they see, man, how cool this really is. You know me, and you're the same way. People think, oh, you're a bay pen guy. You're a hunting dude. You're a woods guy. You just happen to be the dude that's the best at putting on the show of bay pens. Not that you don't like bay pens, but come on, man, it's the same.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Watching a dog work. You could do it with your buddies, or you could do it with thousands of your buddies.
This is my old go-to spiel for people that don't understand the competition side. They're like, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? That's not realistic. All right, man. Like especially since this is kind of geared toward rodeo podcast. Do you think Trevor Brazil pins horses on his roping or pins cows on his roping horse?
Once it's finished,
He,
or while he's in the
why he's
process?
competing?
No.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing. Like these dogs are trained for a high level competition, and you don't put them in the woods to either.
Unless you're dumb enough to try to just prove a point to somebody that I don't know who this somebody is. But I got a text one day that the baddest dog ever lived was 167 yards from the dude with the control.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody knew he was going to bay a hog. I do that. I don't know anything.
Yeah,
Like,
well, sometimes you can't get caught up in those measuring contests.
yeah.
I don't know if anyone's ever won a measuring contest, but
No, man. It's pretty awesome that he did it. I'll say that. But what a dumbass, man. I get half the Calcuttas on that dog. You don't even let that dog get hurt.
heck yeah. Well,
And those of you who don't know, we're talking about that little short fella from Goose, Texas.
Randy Darrell and the Goose.
And the Goose.
But
You got to get it right. Now we got 4 O's in it. You got to go with the Goose.
Goose, yeah, there's 4 O's in Goose. I forgot about that. But
Yeah.
he's speaking of that though, he's well on his way to number 5. A fifth of the way through the season, Goose is in the top spot. Believe it or
In
not.
the top spot. But you know what could happen at any time? Boom! The hand grenade.
The hand grenade. That's a hot topic. You know, I'm about to tell a story that a lot of folks may not believe, they may not have known about. But
now, he's be dishonest to you, especially about the working hours at Uncle Earls, folks. I'll tell you.
Yeah, man, and you know, I know a lot of stuff behind the scenes going on. And hand grenade, hot on the heels of the Goose, owned by the Bayou Boys, GW Son. They're right there in Plaquemine. He has had a big photo shoot baying a hog in the end zone of Tiger Stadium. Like
that's Death Valley, the real Death Valley.
Yeah, man. Like this dog has bayed a hog in the end zone of Death Valley in Baton Rouge.
That's 100,000 people in that stadium.
Yeah, man. Everybody's screaming his name. Like, man, it's going to get wild in Winfield. Wait till these photos haven't been released yet, but they're coming out. Probably shouldn't have mentioned.
Me and Jake were at the game, man. It was a cool experience.
Yeah, actually, it wasn't really a game. It felt like a game, but they were there to see hand grenade.
They were there to see him.
They were dressed in their purple and gold. They were throwing beads. Now, they kept throwing them at me, though. I don't know why. I think they wanted to see something, but I was there for hand grenade, you know?
What else did they want to see? You were showing them everything you had to show.
Exactly. That was my best effort right there.
That's all I got, folks.
Yeah.
Man, and so tell me, is there some more dogs that could get up in this mix? I mean, if we're being honest, at the end of the day, like, is there some more? Because I feel like there's a couple more that can maybe get in this mix.
Well, one you can never count out because, like Saturday in Downsville in January there, Clyde and Goose went head to head.
Man, they were both on there. Dude, that's as good as I've ever seen. Right?
I think we had to go 3 extra rounds to try to break that up, and it was a razor-thin margin on a questionable call. Goose got the nod. Clyde got second.
Hey, just to pause you real quick, man. Is it just me, or is it super heartbreaking when it comes down to those last 2 or 3 dogs and it goes like that? Man, it takes it out of me whenever it's over with. I'm happy for whoever wins, but man, it's like them other 2 dogs every one of them put it out on the line when it gets to that point.
If you think it's bad or hard to watch, trying to determine a winner or feel bad for whoever comes up short, could you imagine being the judge in that situation?
No.
Oh, man, that's a thing.
I would be a terrible judge. They would all get 10s and they would all.
Yeah, we'd never finish.
Yeah.
But that's.
What do you running around the pins in front of them? I didn't see that.
When you're talking about the most elite at the end, when you've whittled it down to just the top dogs, you're splitting hairs, and it's not a fun job. Thankfully, we have the best, and they have a lot of confidence in themselves. They're not afraid to pull the trigger and make a decision. And sometimes it's hard to do, but luckily the crowd is thankful for what it is that they do. And I just said do.
They said do, which is one of the languages I've ever.
You're gonna have to bleep that part out.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But I know at the beginning.
Hang on, I got company. He's over here putting his. He said he thought it was live, but it is live.
It is live.
Right.
Is that Wingman?
No, that's not Wingman. That's the one and only pickup man of the South, Mr. Tyler Como.
Tyler Como.
Yeah, over here.
Made his way to Centerville.
Caught one fish today when we went fishing.
And he only
I'm gonna
caught
send you.
one?
I'm gonna send you these monsters I was catching while he wasn't catching none.
Golly.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go over there and break that up.
Well, come on. Well, I don't know. Keep you on lockdown pretty tight.
Well, are we ready? Or you want?
We ready.
Okay. Well,
so we're gonna talk, man. Next I'm gonna go on Redbud. We talked about that with the SYJ, and then it's going down, and it's going down on the 18th is what I'm gonna call it. You keep saying the 20th, 20, whatever. On the 18th, I'm gonna show y'all right there. Spencer Brunson and the boys. On the 18th, what time, Jake?
we're going to kick it off at the pavilion on top of the hill by the Cajun camp at 7 post meridian, right there in beautiful Winfield, Louisiana, home of the three governors.
And deep in the Gassachi Forest.
That is a fact. Home of the natural, Mark Hayes.
Yeah, the Natch, man.
It'd be the first one we ever had without him, but we're going to make sure and honor him. But we got to do it as big as ever. And I know he'll be looking down on us. Hopefully he'll keep the clouds parted for us. We're going to have some beautiful weather.
No, knowing him, man, he's going to shitstorm us, ain't he?
Yeah, he's going to be like,
these boys be from Monday to Sunday, and he's going to be laughing the whole time.
Them dogs will be in the mud.
Man, I can remember the first year I was there. I didn't know anybody, you know. Met a lot of great people. The only person I knew there was Mark Hayes. And he was sitting in the top of the bleachers by himself at 4:30 in the morning when Clyde made one of them runs. And he told me before it all got started, he said, nothing against the Goose dog, but that Clyde's a bad dude. He said, you watch that dog. Man, Mark Hayes ain't never told me a truer statement in life. I mean, watching Goose and Clyde from the get-go, man, they were different. They were different in the field. No disrespect to anybody's dogs. I think everybody that listens to this knows that. Might not want to admit it, but, I mean, it's just different, man. They're bad to the, like Hand Grenade. I never even knew what Hand Grenade was until he won the one dog at Earls, and it's like...
A lot of people didn't.
Dog was.
A lot of people didn't.
You know?
But they're not forgetting anytime soon. I know that.
No, man. Probably, I mean, when it comes down to the one dog alone, man, that dude's as gangster as they got in the game.
And, you know, there's you know, I know we have our superstars that we talk about all the time, but, man, like it's...
Martha? You talking about Martha?
Oh, hey, superstar in the making.
I'm telling you, man, me and you both enjoy watching
Braveheart Catahoulas, Martha.
Yeah.
From Mississippi, from Tylertown, Mississippi. How far is that from you?
No kidding. I did not know that. That is 45 miles from my house, man.
Tylertown, Mississippi.
I didn't know Miss Bridget lived in Tylertown.
Yes, sir. She
wow.
Her and Mr. Dickey been married a few years and living right there in Tylertown. I think she came, I want to say she was living in Louisiana before they met, but now she lives with him. Obviously, they're married. But
my Stony Rock Productions Dog of the Week last band.
Yeah, right the pick of the cinch pick of the night, and she came through. She placed in the top 3 in a couple different things.
Man, she was on fire, man. It was awesome.
Yep, she was bad to the bone. Dickie told me, he said, "Hey boy, you better get used to me taking pictures next to your ugly butt."
Man, I didn't know if you was impersonating him or Joey Barkley with that one. It was kind of in between, I thought.
Well, Dickie was pretty excited. He might have had a drink or two, and he was talking in his outside voice.
Hey, Joey Barkley's another one, man. He got them 2 gangster dogs, the Dillinger.
Hey, don't like. I know Code Red's way out ahead right now in the kennel standings, but don't sleep on Joey Barkley. I don't think he had he's 3rd or 4th in the kennel points right now in the kennel standings. But he, man, I think he didn't have one dog that placed twice. All those were different dogs. I think he placed with like 6 different dogs.
Well, like, so Joker wins a 2-dog at Earls last year with Rango, and it's like they're the talk of the town, and it's like about time I start thinking he's his best dog, it's like Dillinger shows up this last bear, and it's like,
Yeah,
I don't know which one's actually, but it's like they're superstars.
and all those young dogs, like some of them I don't even know their name. Like they placed in the pro, there's Stinger,
Yeah.
and there's a handful of other ones. I when there's 600 in there, it's hard for me to remember all their names. But
Yeah. I know another really good young dog, and his name's pretty easy to remember because it's Bama Lamb. Oh, Bama Lamb brings some heat too, man.
Bamalam, bred in the swamps of Florida, and his daddy was a pretty good dog, and that dude just it was too far of a trip to come, that kind of thing. Man, it's easier to find somebody to ride with. I just keep him in the woods. Gives Snotty a puppy, and now he sees how good he's doing. He's like, man, I got to get back in the competition.
Yeah, it's not a great Red Rider Kim. We've seen him this weekend. Another one of my brothers, always doing a bunch of assistant MCing in the house, Yeah, man. Code Reds, like, they're back on top, man. Them dogs is working. They got it going on. Awesome to watch. They got was it Red Iron they call them?
The Red Iron
The new baby?
Coalition. It is a
Yeah.
breeding program mixed up between Iron Spring from Corinth, Mississippi, and the Code Red out of Winsboro, Louisiana.
Is Bayou Boys involved in that, or I'm just
No,
making stuff up?
Bayou Boys isn't involved in that. He's been breeding his own so far. He owns the mamas and the daddies to all of his.
Man, if he gets caught, people's gonna think he's sick.
Hey, I
Don't let
say
them
that.
know.
I just misspoke. He has a red hot litter. He bred Hand Grenade to Goose's full sister, and
Which one?
her name's BB. She placed in the puppy bay at Uncle Earls last year.
Yeah.
And them puppies are hot, man. They're coming on.
Yeah. So, man, I forget who the dude was, but one of them dudes at the last bay and got I guess a goose puppy from Randy, and supposedly a heck of a woods dog and cattle dog.
Yeah.
I have to try to get goose puppies work some cattle with.
Man, them dogs are.
I'll get it for Tyler, and that way I won't have to pay him to pick up the rodeos no more for a
Heck
year.
yeah. Hey. No. Hey, selling to him at Randy's price, he might not charge you for 5 years.
Yeah.
Especially if he starts winning, be like, man, we know some stock contractors like that. Like, man, you pick up the rodeo, I'll pay you entry fees, whatever. Well, you won the rodeo, man. I don't have to pay you.
Man, Randy Darrell, that's my man. He sponsors the Stony Rock Productions, man. He's a big time supporter. I mean, only thing wrong with that dude is a lot.
Oh man, he does it.
Randall.
He's good for what
we're
he's good for what we're doing. He's developing his own brand. I tell you right now, I wish everybody went out and developed their own brand. Like
he has a stronger brand as there is. I mean,
man,
dude, you get TikToks and it's like millions of people are watching this.
Yeah, millions. Like it's almost like since we've started recording, like we already have like 500,000 subscribers, and now it's really going to go over the top after this. But
Randy knows he has a special dog. He knows that he's only got so long to capitalize it. And believe it or not, you and I both know this at the bottom of our heart. He does it for the sport. He's doing it to promote the sport. A lot of people take it as he's trying to only promote that dog. The people that think that don't know Randy Darrell. He's doing it for the sport.
Yeah, watch the people that show up wearing Top Gun stuff or Goose stuff, and
bro, people drive all over like many states away just to watch that one dog. Just to watch that one dog.
And I planted that seed with GW about Hand Grenade. And little did I know, like I had no idea he was going to go into Tiger Stadium, man. I had no idea, like the governor was going to be there and stuff, man. It's out of control. Like I can't wait till he breaks that out to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, man, and like he's kind of the same way, man. He's got a golden nugget the size of Texas. I mean, you got something special. I mean, there's nothing wrong with promoting your own product. There's nothing wrong with promoting the sport you love. I mean, that's how you get people interested, man. And I know there's a lot of people that like the old school way of rodeo, hog baying, and life. I like the old school way of life. But when it comes to rodeos and hog bayings, I want it to be pretty fun. I want it to be pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
So
It's a
whatever
show.
entertainment fun is what I'm into.
Without the fans,
and like watching good dogs is what's fun.
And without the fans, it's not a show. It's just
Yeah.
it's just something. You might be good at it, but if nobody does it, what have you done? You know what I mean? We got to sell this to the public, and boy, have we sold it. It is,
man. Since I guess 2020 was my first year at Earls, and in just that short time, it's unbelievable how much in a couple of years.
yep.
Like it probably doubled from the first to second year, and second to third year literally was 8 times bigger. And I mean,
Last year,
you would know because you get the numbers, but from what I could see, and like another thing, I'm going to encourage everybody while we're on here. Like I know that you want to hang out and relax a little bit while you're there. Jake don't give you much time for that, but I encourage everybody to come and support the other people baying when you can. Sit in the stands and visit with everybody. Man, that's what's good for the sport right there. Uh, it takes one guy that never been to a baying, that don't know anything, that he wants to go ask people, but there's nobody really there to ask, or they're all really cliquish. Man, I see now it's like people almost embrace wanting to talk to people about what it is that's going on. I mean, people that never been to a hog baying, the people that have the best dogs in the world will sit there and talk to you about what they love to do and what you're interested in. Man, that's cool. You don't get that in every sport.
no.
You know, you don't get that. I mean, anybody can walk up to Randy Darrell or the Cantrells or GW someone. GW kind of, he'd be a little hungover at times, get a little moody.
Yeah, GW looks like he wants to put his arm around your wife or something. You know what I mean? Like you got to watch out for that guy.
Oh man!
But there's no other sport like, and I'm not.
I loved it, man. I fell in love with it. I always tell the first day I absolutely hated it. Couldn't see what y'all people were absolutely. I thought we rodeo folks were crazy, but then day 2, I was like, well, this ain't so bad. And then by day 3, I was like, I was standing up on top of the announcer stand trying to watch Goose. I mean, Goose was so good that it made me be friends with Randy. I think Jake. That's how good he was that first year.
Yeah, he went down and started taking pictures with him. I remember that. And
Yeah.
and that might have what started the fandom. You know what I mean? Like people taking pictures with him is like now, like last year, kids were coming by and like, hey, like folks would make it a point to say, hey,
man, that wasn't a kid. That was Chris Shivers. He just ain't very tall.
That man was toting enough gold that I knew that there wasn't an average kid.
He might not be tall, but I'll be honest. I hope he don't hear this podcast and take offense. I don't want him popping me in my mouth.
Yeah, he's gonna be mad at us. He's not gonna come this year because he said them crazy asses. They're gonna tell everybody that I'm here and they're gonna bother me.
No,
we'll never out you, Chris. You're safe.
I didn't blow him up on the mic or anything. He appreciated that.
We have tons of celebrities that come, and that's no bull. There's a lot of world champions. And I ain't gonna say a lot of world champions. There's several world champions that have attended Uncle Earls, and especially in the field of like rodeo. There's politicians, state representatives, senators. We haven't got the lieutenant governor or the governor yet, but it is the home of 3 governors. It's named after a governor.
Yeah, man, named after a governor.
And
I don't know who's the governor there anyway, man. They may start putting regulations on us around here.
Yeah, they're like, watch those 2 guys. But before we move on from Earls, I just want to mention, it is the 20th through the 26th, come rain or shine. The kickoff party is the 18th, which is the Saturday before. It's free. We're going to be at the Cajun camp. Everybody knows what that means. Great atmosphere.
Cajun camp, man, they take care of us really good. Without them, I wouldn't get my coffee.
That's right. And they cook all kind of exotic things. There was a lot of people from Georgia that had never ate a lot of Cajun food and stuff. They were coming by. Oh, what do you have? And so we cooked some armadillo eggs this morning. That lady, she was so proud to have some armadillo eggs. And everybody in Georgia thinks that's really a thing now, I believe. I don't know.
I'm going to send a shout out to Georgia, I guess. Originally from Michigan, but she calls Georgia home now. My bestie, Allie York, over there living the Georgia life.
Yep. She'll be there with her dogs.
Yeah, she'll be there with her dogs.
They had a pretty good crack at it last year. They won the one dog with Cujo.
Man, you know what? I got to hang out and pet on Demon after one of the shows. I guess after Earls
He
last
was
year.
not.
I had no idea that dog was that
He's
cool.
not quite the
I've
pain
never
in the
seen
butt.
a dog.
See, he's like the macho man. You know, he's got a persona in the ring, but outside the ring, he's
I
really a
got,
lover.
yeah, he gets in there and oh yeah,
And
man. So I made some notes of it and I got it pulled up. I don't want you to have to do it because you got a bunch of it on your mind and it would probably take you a while because you'd be thinking everybody. But the ones that really make it possible, man, the guys that step up and donate and contribute to make sure that we can do this. That we can put our that you can put on these events and I can go join the
well,
party.
I couldn't.
And, he don't get breaks, by the way. If anybody's listening, I could turn him in or something. I think I worked 78 straight hours with no breaks. He brought me like 3 ounces of water one day, I believe was my
Well,
limit. He said he didn't want me to get too
yeah,
full.
I didn't want him to have to stop and pee. Wanted
Yeah,
him to be able to sweat it all out. Uh,
man, if I ever find a better boss than Jake Loiacano, I'm going to think I'm dreaming, folks. I'm going to tell you.
but
All right, so sponsors, man. Let me run through the sponsors for Earls real quick. I guess we got that time. So, the newest thing, man, the jerseys.
yeah,
So, we got bullfighters in rodeo. Man, we got hog fighters in the world of hog bait. You can bet these boys will be fighting the hogs. Shout out to my man JD Terry, Michael and the gang. I don't know who all you got
Miles
listening.
neighbors.
Man, Willie, Miles, neighbors, big corn fed boy from Arkansas. So the jerseys are sponsored by M&S Nutrition, Miss Sarah Campbell. I get my tea shipped to me from over there. Her and Miss Melissa, they take care of my tea desire. Campbell Farms, Ricky Campbell, that boy keeps that food on the table, man. That dude right there, he
There is about
he'll work, bro. He'll be planting for however long straight before Earls. Come to Earls and do the Jake Loiacano way of life, and like he can still live. I can barely make it just through Earls, you
you want
know.
to talk about putting food on the table. If you eat at Uncle Earl's, there is a 50% chance you fed yourself. There is a 10% chance you ate at the concession stand, and there's a 40% chance you ate something Ricky cooked or killed.
Absolutely, they're Big Mama cook for sure. Absolutely. I mean, they
We
feed
couldn't
everybody.
mention.
I got to say on that level too, man. Rock and Randall, Randy, and Hannah. So when I can't leave up there and I'm married up there and everybody's banging their stuff and it's 3 in the morning, Randy Darrell show up with a T-bone or a ribeye or a big pork chop
Hey,
that thick,
you
man.
know what
It's
he
like,
does? You know what he does? He cooks a bunch for everybody that he's trying to butter up, and everybody that don't eat one. He brings what's left to us.
hey, that'll work, man. That'll work because it butters me up good, man. I'm talking about. I'm like, for a little while, he's like 1B behind my 1A wife. You know, I'm like, oh, I love this guy.
It was probably Hannah's idea. Like we should give one to Jay Bird before we
It
just throw
absolutely
it away.
was. Yeah. No, he probably threw it away. She went and washed it off. All right, man. Crockett Customs, another one of our Jersey sponsors. Southern Cross, the best camo, man. They've been doing some real cool stuff. I guess via media or whatever you'd call that for these dogs,
The
man.
creator,
They
man,
do a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, I guess creators, man. They're bad to the
social
bone.
media
Uh,
influencers.
there you go. Hunter Herndon Memorial. I think it just passed maybe a week or two
Yep,
ago,
it was
wasn't it?
2 weeks ago in
Yeah.
Jacksonville, Texas, at the Double Deuce Bay Pen, put on by
Yeah.
Tyler and Brandy Gresham.
Yep. Is Tyler Gresham coming to Uncle Earl's this
Tyler
year?
Gresham will be at Uncle Earl's. He
Yeah,
has
we
a
need to
baby
do
due.
some.
He's not going to stay the whole time. He's going to stop in, say hi, shake some hands, hug some babies. Don't squeeze him too hard.
Man, that's dangerous. That's dangerous, man. You go to Uncle Earl's, and it turns into like folks that never been to Uncle Earl's. Imagine Woodstock, where music is replaced by barking dogs for 2 minutes at a time, and the rest of the time the music may even be better than Woodstock. I'm not
It
sure,
absolutely is.
but the best party you can go to for a week, all week long. I mean, if you've never been, I promise you, it won't be your first time. Won't be
And
your
it
last
never
time.
stops. You'll end up planning your whole year around. All right, we got to take a week in March. Where does the rest of this crap fall?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you couldn't mention a sponsor without mentioning the Showtime Pet Foods.
Dude, I should have started with. I mean,
Hey,
the press. Time, Showman's feed of the dog world.
Once a regional brand.
If you don't feed Showtime, you're not cool. Unless you Johnny White and got to drive 32 hours
Yeah,
to
then
get
you
it.
got to drive 32 hours to get. That is a fact. But once a regional brand now is scattered out as far west as you can think, and we are really moving a lot of weight. And Showtime, we couldn't do it without them. The
Man, I think everybody, all of our listeners that we're going to gather up, I'm sure we don't. Right now we have zero, but we're on our first recording. We're working our way to 2
no,
or 3 million here before
I know
long.
we have at least 3,222 because that's how many times my phone has went off since we've been talking.
We got Tyler in the house, so we got at least one viewer already. Showtime. We ought to all, and all of our viewers, we ought to all just buy one bag of Showtime. Like probably once every 3 months, would have to buy one and just ship it to Johnny White. Let's just ship him one, as a community. That man, he can't get it. I don't believe he gonna have a hard time. Somebody bring him some Showtime to Maryland, I believe.
Yeah, we're expanded. We're gonna get it to him. I assure you. Phil, just bear with us.
That man, he's gonna do it.
And we mentioned the Boars and Broads, the Dixie Doggers, also Circle F Distribution.
Let's do the class sponsors. Let me do the class sponsors because you're gonna know all the ones you're gonna talk about. But I bet I'm fixing to cover some of them right here. So the Puppy Bay is Johnson Telemetry, Old and Young Circle S Distributors, the One Dog American Doghorn Museum, the Two Dog S&R Sporting Goods, Youth Dixie Doggers, and the best of the best Justin Finley Elliott Audio Group. And then also you talk about Dixie Doggers, Boars and Brawls, take it over from there. How about my folks over there to keep me cruising sweetness all week long when I'm at my ranch in that Envy neighborhood vehicle? My people over there in Ball,
In
Louisiana.
the ball,
Sinline
Sinlaw Motorsports are like when we first started getting like big time corporate sponsors. Showtime stepped up to the plate and really changed the game. Now, Sinlaw Motorsports in Ball, Louisiana, they are fixing to help us take it to the next level. The half of the arena. If you've ever been to Uncle Earls, you know that we only utilize half of the arena because it's huge. You don't need that much to have a hog band. And the half that we do not use is going to be a showroom for Sinlaw Motorsports. They're going to have their lawnmowers, their ATVs, their golf carts, all that out there. They're going to have representatives on hand helping folks with questions, sales questions, prices, financing options, rebates, whatever it is that you might have a question about. And also, they're going to be providing a special ride for they I've been called like the King of Texas. I've been called like the Godfather of
Dude,
Hog Bay, and they
hey,
said, "Man, you deserve this chariot."
May and Emery don't
They
count,
said, "You
dude.
deserve this chariot that is decked out in fancy mag wheels and a sound
You said
system."
it was for me. It's for you. I thought it was for me.
Maybe it was. Maybe they were talking about you, but I commandeered it. It's mine now.
Yeah, man. So like the folks that own Sinlaw Motorsports, Jenny and Jeremy Smith. I know, man. I like to talk good about all the sponsors if I can, but these folks right here are two of my dear, dear, dear friends. You're not gonna find better people. Like I called the dude when I got my Envy. I called him. I didn't want to haggle the
In
prices. The
envy.
dude's
What's
my
in it?
friend. I want to pay what you want for it. I get in there after we make the deal, man. He knocks off several $1,000s. Like
Tell
that,
folks
that
what an envy
that's more
is.
than fun.
They might not know what it is.
Man. So an Envy neighborhood vehicle is basically it's a golf cart. It's an electric unit that's built on a side by side chassis. It's a little bigger, has a bed, fold up seats in the back. You can cruise four in. Me and Tyler found today that they have 3 custom fishing rod holders, ice chest under your seat, compartment in the front for storage, custom, and they're the only people in the country that customize them. Got me a sweet cherry red paint job, some
Candy paint.
rims, sound system in the roof. Man, they decked them. Man, they
You
deck
call it
them
an
out.
envy.
And
I grew up in the
an
'90s. You know what
envy.
it looks like to me? It looks like
What?
that rig that Deion Sanders used to ride around at training camp. That Mercedes-Benz
Yeah.
golf cart.
Man, I used to want, I don't know if you ever seen Weekend at Bernie's, but the Porsche golf cart that he had at Weekend at Bernie's, I always thought it was the coolest till I seen this rig that they sold me, man. Like, two of my dear friends, big sponsors at our Pineville Rodeo, man, they, if I was to buy anything, and I don't say that because that's where I buy everything, if I was to buy anything, it didn't matter where I lived. If I dealt with these people one time and they were in New York, if they were in Manhattan, I would drive my truck and trailer and go pick up whatever I bought from
Lawnmower
those
golf
folks.
cart, ATVs. They are the official ATV. They are the
Everything.
official outdoor equipment dealer of hogband.com. And
So basically, what I'm saying is, all you folks that need a new ATV side by side lawnmower, I mean, y'all are the most. I'm talking about the hog baying people right now. My rodeo people, y'all great too, but right now we on the hog baying and Earls. So I'm speaking about that group of folks. The most welcoming, loyal folks that I've probably met. I mean, like rodeo and then some, man. I mean, I get treated like a kid. If I got treated every day like I do at Uncle Earl's, man, I tell you what, I'd be harder to deal with than I am. I mean, the boss man will let me take breaks. He might say ugly things on the microphone while I'm still gone, make you uncomfortable feeling, but that's just how he is. Uh, but man, if y'all will just think about and consider and check the pricing and availability on y'all's deals with Sinlaw Motorsports before you buy, I guarantee you the more that we pump into buying from them, the better it is for
we'll
Hog
all feel it.
Band.
I guarantee you we'll all feel it.
Well,
That is an
yeah,
absolute fact.
and I mean, and we all got them. We all got one or two or three of them. I mean, I got to keep two lawnmowers because one of them stays
That's,
broken.
I thought about, the old joke about the dishwasher when it breaks. What do you do?
I go cast a rag
Yeah,
up.
exactly. I thought about getting two, but the approval process around here is kind of rigid.
Yeah, we were trying to work out that deal for that expedition the other day, me you and Heather. I don't think we're gonna get
Yeah,
it worked
man. The,
out.
the approval process on that end can get tough too sometimes. But
Oh man,
man, like we've decided that we're gonna wrap up every show with a segment called, for lack of better terms, just be kind. Let's brag on someone that we've encountered, or maybe even a group of people
cool.
that we've encountered that has really made the stuff that we do, whether it be ball, boars, broads, uh, boars, you name it. And I'm gonna let Jay Bird
Don't forget the
and
babes.
Babes. I'm gonna let Jay Bird take it over and start with his be kind moment in the showbiz world.
I'm gonna go with my big time. My big time moment came just this weekend, man. The beautiful T2 Event Center in Orange, Texas, where we were at. The guy that owns the event center, Chad Havens, man, he's a cool cat, man. I would say a good guy. Not only a good guy, he's a cool cat, man. He I guarantee I wouldn't have no problem going to the bar with you and him and running my mouth all night long. You know what I'm saying? I would get super tough all of a sudden with you two.
Well, for one, if you were with us,
But man,
nobody would be listening to you.
yeah, a guy that man, he's cool, man. He could be a lot different, man. And when I say that, I mean the aspect of letting folks use his arena, putting on two quality rodeos every year over there, and helping cowboy churches down the road. And every night of every week, man, there's kids riding over there. And you know how I know that? Because when me and Carly are on the road and I need a place to hook up, I pull into the T2 Event Center and hook up. Like, that's what kind of guy that Chad is. Man, Chad is one of those guys that if everybody was like Chad, the world would be a better place. Is at the same token of how cool he is, he could get uncool quick. You gotta know where you stand with him. But at the end of the day, man, he chooses to be cool. That's a choice people make. Except for me. I mean, I was born like this. He got to
Yeah.
work for it. I was born.
I was going to mention that. I'm glad you brought that up. Some people just have to put forth extra effort. But what's really cool about the T2 Event Center is, man, like since I've since I've got close with you and we've been working together on the hog bands, I've hit the LRCA circuit, uh, several rodeos.
You're part of Backdoor Rodeo Company. Don't sugarcoat it. You're a big part of Backdoor
Well,
Rodeo
I mean,
Company.
I've been some places, and that which I've been going to rodeos for my whole life, but like not as involved as I am now. I'm supporting your rodeo company and Stony Rock Productions and stuff. But like the facility that he has there, he didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like he wants
No.
a great place for the contestants to compete, and the better the facility, the more fair it is, the more comfortable, the more accommodating it is to the crowd, the contestants, and just makes it more rodeo friendly. And
Puts up a lot of added money, man.
yes,
Them two rodeos get
you
a lot
can't
of contestants.
like I was going to get to there, but like he gets the biggest sponsors in town. Like he doesn't go nothing wrong with this. Now he doesn't go to the Dairy Queen and the pizza parlor and get a $50 gift card. You know what I mean? This dude is adding tens of thousands of dollars to the show, and I'm not saying he's not he doesn't expect anything. Like he's doing this so the contestants have big rodeo purses right here in his town.
I'll tell you, like that rodeo does not make that. That rodeo costs that guy. Both them rodeos cost that guy money. I mean, I know he's not going to charge him electric. I mean, he's a great guy. I mean, if the world was full of guys like him, man, we could put on some cool rodeos and support hog
Boy,
bands
you
all
ain't
over.
kidding, man.
It ain't like that.
And
But look, if you're interested in putting on a cool rodeo or hog band, you can call me or
yeah,
Jake. We
no
can do
doubt.
it
And
for real expensive, and it might not even be that
yeah,
good.
I promise. We're not cheap, but hey, we're expensive. Or did I say that backwards?
I'm probably gonna embarrass Jake when I say this right here, y'all. But so the sport I grew up in is a little different. It was the beginning of time, cowboying and ranch work, and what later turned into rodeo. So like the people that put down the real roots in what I did or what I do, um, I didn't never know them. I heard the names. Later on the Jim Shoulders and Larry Mahans, I've seen them in person. I didn't see them compete. Met both of them. I mean, was in super awe. I mean, of just who they were. Even first time I ever got drunk in my life in 1989 was at Sean Fry's wedding, and Tough Edmonds, who got me drunk, kept giving me beer. I mean, how cool was that? But it's the rodeo world, man. It's got like people that they changed the game. This man sitting across from me, or on top or wherever he's going to be set up at, I don't know right now. I'm just looking at his big head. Is all I
I'm
can
trying
see
to
on
block
this
out that
screen.
light.
He literally is responsible for taking something that was, I don't want to say I was going to say a big something contest, but I don't want to even go that route. I'm going to say an ego contest. Who got the best? Like now, it is something that my TikTok feed and Facebook. I've rodeoed my whole life. I thought all my friends were rodeo. I can't scroll past nothing but damn dogs barking at hogs. I love it, but I'm gonna tell you, sometimes I see enough of it. Believe it or not, rodeo. Sometimes I see enough of it. I can't even get to even seeing enough rodeo no more. So hog bands, them at least that. That's all that's on my news feeds, man. I can keep up with everybody. It really, man, it's a cool thing. I've met so many really, really what I consider good friends now through a crazy thing I didn't even know existed all that
And
long ago.
uh, I guess indirectly, it is a spinoff of cowboy.
But what I was getting at is he is a legend, folks. I know he don't like to think that, and his head couldn't get any bigger. If y'all were worried
Well,
about that happening, it can't.
whether it be true or not, when that final day comes and the impact that of if I've done anything or what I've done, we're not going to get complacent. We're going to keep moving forward. And
But that's why you were able to do it from the get go, Jake, because it's always folks. This dude, me and him talk every day about how to make hog
it's
bands.
called love letters.
This dude every day. Yeah, it's called
He
love
said
letters.
the first show, he's
Yeah.
like, "Look, you're under a lot of pressure right now, and everybody's giving you suggestions and all this. Look, consider this a love letter. This is not a suggestion. This is a love letter. Read it when you get home and you get rested." I think it sit in my glove box for 3 months. I was like, I wonder if it's still in there. And I grabbed, there it was. Like, oh yeah, I like this.
That had some genius work
Absolutely,
on
and
it,
here we
didn't it?
are. Household
Here we are,
names
man. We
are
stayed up like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. We stopped baying, and it's like I ain't saying you can sleep if you want to, but at least you have the option now.
No, nobody goes to bed anyway.
Yeah.
But
No, man, I do. I do, but you come in there 32 times and try to get me to come back and hang out. I'm like, one day he's going to realize I'm a grandpa, but I
that's
guess
why
he's
I can't
not,
let you have. That's why I
Don't be
can't let you have the official Sinlaw Motorsport ATV because you may burn off and bed up.
Man, so Jake's also known to steal vehicles here recently. Back at the end of January, I don't know if you saw it on Facebook with the cop lights on him when he stole Preston's brand new
Yeah,
Weatherman
Preston
rig.
is in the process. He's the 2022 LRCA
We're talking about,
Contract Act of the Year, and he is in the
Mr.
process of applying at the Weather Channel to replace Jim Cantori. And he's been on a campaign across the South, and he's really gaining some steam. Well, the next thing you know, I was far away from my cooler, and I was feeling really thirsty. And I jump on the buggy, and then the red and blues come on behind me. And luckily, we're all friends. And the guy understood the shape, the condition that I was in, and he allowed me to refresh myself. And and to this day, it required no signatures.
No signatures. Yeah. Oh man, good times. So yeah, man, we're looking forward to it, Uncle Earls, end of March. If you're not there,
And,
you're missing out. I
and
mean, we're gonna be there.
also,
I don't
guys,
even want to see y'all come. Don't
beginning of
miss it.
March, Redbud Festival. You'll get to see us all there in a little as far as the hogband.com crew that isn't working. Jaybird will be working, so you can just put all your attention to me and the folks. Because hey, let me tell you who I'm gonna have there. I'm gonna have the 2022 Redbud Mutton Busting Champion. We don't
What?
have her chaps on now.
Miss
She's too old
Emery
to compete now,
Loiacano.
but the last year's champ will
I
be
gotta
there,
bring her a feather.
and her proud papa. Actually, today I got some of those. Your iPhone, it'll scroll that video up that shows like old photos and stuff, and there's me smiling. I was like, man, I remember feeling that proud when she won. She'd never done it before.
Man, I can only imagine how proud you were because I was so proud. Me and Preston and Heather and Emery took a picture in the arena after she won it and won her brand new custom chaps. As proud as I was, man, it was like Heather was glowing red. She was so proud, man. Like you had that hands in both pockets, shoulders back strut
Yeah,
walking out the
boy,
arena. Only person maybe more proud than all of us was Uncle Pat, boy. He
that's
was
a
lit
fact.
up, man.
And
It was cool.
speaking of Uncle Pat, I'm sure because our fan base is going to be into that kind of outlaw. This is Bad Company. You know what I mean? Like we're going to have the Bad
Bad company.
Company on the Bad Company podcast.
Uncle Pat don't know that me and Jake. This is me and Jake. We tried to keep it a secret from everybody. We've been talking about doing this for so long, but we finally just said, you know what, we're going to do it. And are we going to have Uncle Pat on? Of course, all the time. You can't get rid of Uncle Pat, but sometimes you can't find Uncle Pat.
So that's why
So Uncle Pat works on his own schedule.
you
Well,
know
I
how
can
to
let you
find
know
Uncle
how
Pat.
often
You just
Uncle
put
Pat
you build the podcast, and he will come.
he will come. He
Well,
will come.
guys, hey,
Yeah. Of course, man. One more thing I want to mention: the Woods division. All right. So if you don't have a dog that's ever been in a bay pen, doesn't matter, Jake
no,
Loiacano.
it doesn't matter. There's actually two separate classes. All right, there is what we call a sportsman class that is only a $30 entry fee, and you're paying strictly for awards. That's to get you involved in the Uncle Earl's Hog Dog Trials, and it's just for the one dog and two dog events. It's $30. You're running with the pro.
To go turn a dog loose on the baddest
Yes, you're
stage in the
running with the
game is what it
pros. You're
is.
running in front of. You're part of the performance. You're not the slack. You're in the show. You're in the mix. You get to see how your dogs measure up. And the guys that probably three-quarters of the top 10 from last year have all hit the circuit now. They're all on it. Donnie Bergman, when he won, I think first and second, maybe first, second, and fourth. He's a
Man, Donnie's one of those guys too that you can bet he's gonna put his foot deep in the sand and make
oh
his
yeah.
footprint, man.
Donnie's been making money moves too
Yeah,
already and breeding dogs and stuff.
yeah,
He's been over here working dogs, training
yeah.
dogs, stuff. He's ready to go. Uh,
Yes,
but
sir.
also for you competitors or people that have competed in the past, There is a woods division that is slightly different. That is a $30 option on top of your regular entry fee, and you run for both pots. The only difference is the competition dogs cannot run for the woods pot, and the woods pot is 100% payback.
And there was one more thing I wanted to ask or get you to talk about. What was it?
The Hooters
I
girls
don't know.
are
It'll come to
not
me.
coming the entire week, if that's what you're going to ask. They're not going to be there the entire week. We have.
What about the
There
Twin
will
Peaks
be Twin
girls?
Peaks girls there all week. They will be handling dogs, from what I understand. So don't be bugging them.
Don't
And
be
that is an
bugging them.
inside joke. If you are in fact a steady follower of hogband.com, that you know the one of the premier Twin Peak girls is runs the Top Gun kennel and has.
Well, she runs Goose. She runs Goose when
Yeah,
Goose
she
is
runs
picking
Goose
up
when Goose
kids.
is
Yeah.
winning. That's for sure.
I know what I want to talk about. I want to call it the We Be Jamming Division. Everybody talks about I run my dogs in there with music. I run. All right. Well, let's see if you'll run your dogs, Jake. I've been asking you a little bit again. I'm going to ask you right now. Can we do it this year, Uncle Earls?
It's possible.
Or Aaron in Downsville, maybe
It's
possibly
something.
together
It's
this year.
something we got to talk
Take
about,
the limit.
because I'm gonna tell you right now, I hate changing too much at once, because any subtle change, the sky's falling to the contestants.
Y'all get to me, Hog
Yeah.
Dog World. Y'all let me know if
Hey,
y'all
Jay
willing
Bird.
to get down. Y'all ain't even got up an entry fee, and I'll give you a Bergeron Rodeo Company
Heck
color
yeah,
of
boy. And
choice.
those are hard to come by, because for some reason I don't have one.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, I got
I'll put that
elastic
up
on
on a tee
order.
for you. But
Oh, and cowboy hat shopping with
they
Jake
set me up.
Loiacano, and
I'm
then you
gonna
tell
I'm
me
gonna
you
tell a
did
better
it.
version of this story. I already know what happened. All right, we're in a Western store in West Monroe, talking to a lady that sponsors some rodeos, dear friend, lifelong friend of Jay
J&H
Bird's,
Boots and Jeans.
and
Yeah.
we're in there, and Uncle Pat is in there buying some Western wear for them supporting the show, and he's
Uncle
already
Pat like
spent like
y'all.
$1,000.
He likes
Yeah,
to
yeah, he's
support
already
folks.
spent
I
like a
mean,
thousand
yeah.
bucks. And he's got a flashy new cowboy hat. And I said, you know what? I could use a new one. I said, what's the biggest? I wear a 7 3/4. So I said, what is the biggest size y'all have? Now we have a
You
7 and
do
three
lie to
quarter,
people.
and I know they set me up. So I grabbed this 7 3/4, and it fits on my head like this. It's no more 7 3/4 than I am a pilot. I'm
So
feeling really
the hat that
self-conscious.
had the
Like they don't, Jay Bird don't even know the extent what this bothered me. I'm feeling really self-conscious. So uh,
would it make you feel better if I tell you Uncle Pat put stuff in
I
there?
don't know. He did something, but I looked at it and I was like, no way. And it said 7 3/4, and I think they switched the label. Well,
I think Uncle
I'm
Pat put
kind
some
of
stuff
down
in
and
it to make
out,
you feel
because
like.
I used to train a lot. And I was a lot slimmer than I am now, and I was like, no way, my head got fatter. You know what I mean? Anyway,
Man, what it is. So what it is, that lady in there, the owner of J&H Boots and Jeans, Janelle, her and Jake were having a little bit of smiling back and forth to each other. I think his head was kind of in the gross
yeah.
up still,
Well,
maybe.
we're getting ready for the LRCA finals, and I want my girls to have new boots, new hat, new belt, that kind of thing. And we're going in there, and I asked that lady.
Because you knew you was going to the awards banquet to
Yeah,
get some
man, I wanted to
awards.
look
You knew
fly.
you were going to do it.
And I said, man, I don't want a hat, but like just for my own, reassurance. I was like, man, what's the biggest hat y'all have in here? And the lady like said 7 5/8. I said, can I try it on? I don't want to see what it looks like. I just want to see how it fits. The sucker almost fit me, and I knew right then that my friends had set me up, and they had really broken down my confidence, and I was a damaged man for a couple of months there.
Yeah, that's what friends are for, man. Your real friends, they'll keep you on your
But
toes.
guys, we don't want to keep you all night. We're going to try to keep these podcasts really fast paced, and of course, we're going to stick to the Bad Company name. We're going to be talking about all the things that we do in our day to day lives. Like this is going to be stuff like, hey, this is what rodeo guys do. Their perspective of like football, basketball, politics, the stock market.
And we'll get some guys on here from both the rodeo world, the hog dog world. Man, my cousin's married to the Astros stud once upon a time, Will Harris. When I say once upon a time was an Astro. Went to the Washington Nationals after
I'm
that,
still
but
I'm still a big Astro
man,
fan. We've been
down,
banging cans since way back. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, man. So I might even see if Will come jump on with us. Talk a little
But one thing
baseball
about it
wrap
for
up the
sure, they're
season.
all going to be bad company, and they're all going to be Hall of Famers. They're all gonna be in the
Yeah,
hogband.com ring of honor, if you know what I mean. We love y'all.
man. Do they have a
Of course we
Ring of
do.
Honor?
Of course we do. It's
Okay,
only the most
I didn't
elite
have my
get to
name.
see it.
I was wondering. Folks, signing off. Good night from the Awesome Sauce Game.
Take care.
The party's not over, it's just leaving town. So don't be disappointed, it's gonna come back around. But who says that a good time is at the end of the night? Oh, the party's not over, so don't turn out the lights. There was a happening